La Máquina Deportiva, la factoría a nivel mundial de los deportes.
Behind you, how do you feel about the squad? How do you feel that they've meshed, especially the newer players as they've come in after California?
Yeah, I would say we had a great pre-season until the last Saturday. It was our last day was not so good, to be honest, when we analyzed our game against San Diego, but at the end we made good steps in the way how we want to play, in the way how we want to create our atmosphere, and now it's important to see this in the first game against Cincinnati. It's a big game directly in the league, but I'm very satisfied with the guys, the behavior off the field, on the field. So now we are very excited for Saturday to start against Cincinnati.
Next we'll go to Joe Pantorno.
Sandro, what constitutes a successful season for you in 2025?
Yeah, I think it's, and I told this to the guys, and we had also today in our all-staff meeting, I think it's important not to compare end of the season and beginning of the season. I think that's, first of all, very, very important for us, for the whole club, for our supporters, for the team from the mental side, but at the end, we want to be ready directly to win games, and it starts Cincinnati, and of course, when we are talking end of the year, hopefully, then for sure we are talking the way how we want to play, and that we see this every day, that we see this every match day, midday, midweek day. So this is important, the style of play, and of course then the results at the end. So we are playing them. The life quality is better when you win games on Saturday, especially on Sunday. So we want to win games, but the way how we want to play, that's the first step in our performance. That's the first step to show our mentality every weekend, every training day, and then we will talk at the end for the result.
Next we'll go to George.
Coach, obviously you fell a little bit short last year, so the fans are probably expecting for us to get at least that close. But with many trophies available this year, are you trying to get all of them? Is that your ultimate goal?
Of course. So when we start a competition, US Open Cup, then it's very difficult to talk about this competition, and then to talk as a head coach. Okay, this competition is not so important. You know, it's a game. So of course we want to win games, but it starts not to think about, okay, what can happen end of the season, or I don't know when is the US Open Cup final, I don't know, or the Leagues Cup finals at summer. So it makes more sense from our side. What do we need to be successful like last season? Last season we won one title. This was the Eastern Conference title, and of course we want to create these emotional moments all together with the whole club. And but it starts with the first game, and only to think about what do we need to get successful.
Next we'll go to Sean McCaffrey.
Coach, similarly, last year your team did very well. Is there bitterness coming in? Do you feel more pressure because of how far you advanced last year to get to next year, of course? There'll be more pressure from the other teams. There's sort of a target on the back.
Pressure? I have everyday pressure, to be honest. So, yeah, but the pressure is, we need pressure to get the best performance. We need also pressure, but I'm not sure that it makes sense to get the pressure from the opponent or from guys outside. So it's necessary to have the pressure from inside in every training session, to have the competition on each position. That's necessary, and also for my side as a head coach to feel the pressure, because we want to win games. But in our way how we want to play, and I don't know if it's pressure then from the opponent. So for sure we can see a lot of transfers in this transfer window, all the teams in our Eastern Conference and some teams in the Western Conference. So that's clear. But now it's the focus Cincinnati game on Saturday, and that's our target, our focus directly to be ready.
Next over here to our left.
Hi Coach, Agenda Football Panama, and how you describe Omar Valencia's contribution to the team up until now. And it's gonna be a lot of tournaments this year.
Yeah.
Like he could be considered to the Nations League in 29 days, Gold Cup, and how is the team like manage all these challenges?
Yeah, first of all, welcome. First people here, first guys here from Panama. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Omar Valencia made it in the preseason very well as a left back, left wing back, and he made last season big steps in his individual development, especially with the second team with Ibra as his head coach. But he joined every team training session with us, and now he made good steps. It's a chance, to be honest, that he is in the starting lineup on Saturday, but we have now 2 more training sessions tomorrow and on Friday. But his development is very well, and he made big steps now, and it's very important. And his skills is he has good runs, especially in our offensive behavior. So especially then also in the final third to find good moments, and in small spaces find good solutions in ball position. And but for sure, as a young player, it's normal. He can also improve a lot of things, but I don't want to mention it now in the press conference.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
But you can be sure I will speak with him individually directly what he has to improve.
It's 77 days since you last played a very meaningful game. Are you worried about a slow start, and how do you combat that if it will be a slow start on Saturday?
No, it's a new start. So 70 days was the last game. Yeah. Oh, it's a great number, 77. So no, I don't think, to be honest, I didn't think too much about the last game. It was also in my off season, in my holidays when I was in Frankfurt, not to think too much about the last game. So now we have 77 days after the LA Galaxy game. It's good to know these days, but no, our main focus is now Saturday. This is 2 training sessions, some video sessions, and then we have to be ready. Now it's a new schedule, new season, and this is what we want to show. We want to continue our development, but it starts every time with the first game, with our basic behavior. And I told to our guys, it's not possible to play the perfect game in the first game in the season, but it's possible to win the first game. So this is what we want to see directly, to be ready, and then to continue our process, our development.
Next, go to Lloyd.
Thank you, Zach. Lloyd Carroll from the Queens Chronicle. Kind of piggybacking what on Ashley Sarge's question. In baseball, they get to enjoy warm weather all through March, and you guys are going to be out here in the freezing cold. I'm just wondering, do you wish you could have a little more downtime and warmer climes? And it's a season, frankly, too long to go from February, possibly ending in December. Is it just too long a season?
That's true. It's a really long season, and I had this experience last year, the first time, to be honest, but it's great. So I don't want to compare baseball, because I'm also a little bit surprised. My son is still playing baseball, and this is the biggest surprise for me that he's playing baseball now, but this is American culture. I respect this a lot. And yeah, it's a long season. The weather, yeah, it's cold. It's not the same weather what we had now the last 2 days here in Jersey, like in California or in Florida, but that's it. So now we have to be ready. If it's cold, if it's warm, if it's hot, I don't know. So, but nothing changed. We play with the same rules, 11 against 11. We are playing, hopefully, our same style of play, when it's cold, when it's warm. So this is what we have to respect, and yeah, now to prepare. And we have this experience now with this long season last year, but now it's the main part, the main focus, not about the long season, what can happen on May, June, July, or August. So our main focus is now on Saturday to be ready.
Next, we go to Perry.
Hey, Coach. Perry Sook, Pix 11 Sports. Does a run like last year, when it is kind of an improbable, low-seeded run, make it easier because you now know how to do that, to achieve things, to get that far, or more difficult because now there's a target on your back because people know you can achieve it?
And this is what I said. I can't prepare the first game in the season and the whole time to talk about, hey, can you remember our playoff run or something like that, what happened last season, because we have new faces in our locker room. And after 1 or 2 times when I would say this, they were thinking, okay, good. It's good that you are saying that, but I was playing, I don't know, in another club last season. So it's the first game, and the first game starts every time. So it starts every time with your basic behavior, with your defense behavior, and it was tough the last test game against San Diego, and it was then we analyzed this today and yesterday, and we practice this directly what we need for Saturday against Cincinnati. But it's not to talk about now about our last season, and I would also say most of the time last season was good. So most of the time we played very well in this season, in the regular season, and then I know the special moments was playoffs. But now it starts new. So now it's this is a new season, new competition, not new competition, but a new challenge now with all these teams. And first of all, we have to be ready and to be very, very active, to play with the highest intensity, and to be ready for Saturday.
Next, we go to Voss.
Coach, speaking about preparation, it's your second year in the league now. A lot of the teams you've now played, except a few in the West. Do you think that's going to be an issue going into this new year, that maybe the other opponents are starting to maybe figure out the style that you're implementing based on just the few results there in the preseason?
I don't know, to be honest. Could be, but I think the way how Red Bull wants to play is not new now. So it's similar like I'm pretty sure that Red Bull played under Jesse March, Struber, all these Troy, all these very good head coaches. So they will also analyze everything what we did in the past. So, but when we compare this now to start last year, so we played most of the time in the preseason with back four. End of the season we played with 3 center backs, but it doesn't change then our style of play, and this is the main part. So we will see how the opponents analyze, and it's also our ambitious to make our next step in our play, how we want to do the games.
Next, we go to Christian.
How you doing, Coach? Steve from the Southward Network. I just want to congratulate you on a successful 2024.
Come on, it's in your year. I don't want to.
No, it's okay. You deserve it. That's why we're all here. You know?
okay, great.
I just want to know what are some keys to getting off to a good start against Cincinnati, and how have the new signings been in preseason for you so far?
Yeah, basic behavior, defense behavior, which we need against Cincinnati. So they play most of the time, I would say, in a 3-4-3, 3-4-1-2 sometimes. So they played this last season the whole time, this structure. So this is very important to prepare our principles against the structure when they build up, when they have the transition moments, in their defense, in their pressing behavior. This is what we have to be prepared for Saturday, and then to play first of all with our basics. And it's not, and this is always the same, to be honest. When I was a player or a head coach in another clubs, and also last year, it's every time the same, and not to be complicated in the first game and to think, okay, we need perfect game in all phases. It starts with basics, and when you are good in these basics, when you have a good energy level in these basics, then you get the confidence also in these moments with the ball, and that is, I think, very, very important for the first period, not only for Saturday, for the first period of the season.
Everyone, we have time for one more question with Coach. We'll go to Joao.
How you doing, Coach? Joao with the Crossover. I just had a question. So the last time that fans were in this building was obviously against Columbus. A lot of happy faces. The last time a lot of the local fans were at a game was the NYCFC away game. A lot of happy faces again, thanks to you and all the work that your training staff has done. So I was wondering if you had a message for the fans this season. And last season we saw Emil give us a quote that kind of the fans kind of rallied behind with the F it, why can't we? We saw joking with the smart, tough, defendable players that he wanted to come in. So I was wondering, do you have a quote for us that'll carry us through the season, or a mantra that you want for this season?
No, but what I want to say is, and we had what I said, we had an all-staff meeting, and our meetings with the guys, with the players, and the reason why we are every day here and why we are hard working every day on the field, off the field, and also in our front office, also in our facility, our staff, is to create emotional moments. That's at the end. That's the reason, to be honest. And I'm pretty sure when you are coming back, I don't know, in 20, I don't know. So then you're only talking about the emotional moments. I'm pretty sure that you don't talk about did you play with 3 center backs or 2 center backs or something like that. And this is, and the supporters, this is the reason why we are playing all together and why we have these emotions together. And it was very special in our playoffs, and to win against the Hudson River Derby, the special game, and to have in the first round these playoff moments against Columbus. But at the end, this is what we have to create now in this season. But great supporters, great feeling, and this is also very important for us that we have these feelings for this long season, which we had last year, and what we have also what we have also this year. And that's great to have these supporters and to have these happy faces, hopefully at the end of the game, because this is life. What I said, life quality is higher than when you win the games, and also when you see a lot of happy faces.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Before Coach leaves the room, we want to introduce the New York Red Bulls' newest designated player, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting.
Yes.
La MLS está de vuelta con las jugadas, los goles, las tarjetas, sus fanáticos, todo a través de la Máquina Deportiva.
Aquí estamos en el juego de los Knicks. Lo vamos a dejar con la mejor jugada del juego de los Knicks ahora.
Mi gente, están disfrutando. Lamentablemente hemos llegado a la parte final de la Máquina Deportiva. Como saben, el tiempo es corto en la televisión. En las cámaras, Fili Carmona, Domingo Rodríguez en la producción, Otniel trabajando y el chino cobrando. Será hasta entonces.
Siga vacilando lo nuevo de Moreno Negrón, y esto va en exclusiva para la Máquina Deportiva. ¡Zumba!